This is kind of what I wanted to get to, because we're in there's hybrid work is the thing,
Yeah.
right, or remote work. People are outside of the secured office environment. What's the like if you're an end user and thinking about, geez, I mean, obviously it sounds like, don't click on links you don't recognize. That's probably a good start. But in terms of end users, what's the stuff they can do so that they keep themselves secure and perhaps at less risk of an attack?
Okay, sitting where and what size company? I'll answer your question accordingly.
Okay. Let's say 1,000 or more, or 500 or more staff, but they're a hybrid worker. They're at home using their home internet.
So multiple areas. Number one, you need to obviously, again, protect the email.
Right.
Okay. And also, for instance, the solution that we implement for companies, large or small, not only protects the email, it also protects every single file that sits in either Office 365 or Google G Suite. Because here's a scenario for you. I'm sitting at home. I've now opened up my OneDrive or SharePoint or whatever, or Teams, and I need a file from my desktop. But meantime, there's no protection on the desktop. So if you drag and drop the file into 365 or G Suite, you've just planted a landmine straight into the system. And what we found the other day, that infection then went and encrypted every single file. Even people sitting in India encrypted all their files. Ransom attack, game over. So obviously, number one, you need to protect your entire 365 estate, not just your email. Okay, number one, because then that'll stop those attacks. So even if somebody tries to drop an infected file from their personal Dropbox, we'll nuke that file.
Right.
Number one. Number two, you need to obviously protect the device that they're coming from. Okay, because our promise to people is if you use our computer security, you can click on whatever you like and we'll catch you when you fall. Simple as that. That's all we pay your ransom. Right. So we include a ransom guarantee. So that's step number two. Step number three, which most people don't realize, that there is an easy fix. And if I was head of or CISO of a large company, I would enforce this. Why is it when you go to the golf course, there are multiple Wi-Fi networks, do you think? Or, even if you go to a hotel.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Now, here's the thing. I have noticed that, definitely.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I presume because they're partitioning them off from each other or something?
Great answer. Exactly that. So what I'm advising people to do for home working is to phone up BT, Virgin, TalkTalk, and create several Wi-Fi networks. You can create on the same hardware that you already have. It'll take you longer to get through to them, I can guarantee you, then to implement this, what I'm going to tell you next.
Right.
So you create one for work, you have one for home, you have one for guests, and then you have one for your kids as well, all separate, and you don't share the passwords, because once you disconnect from the existing Wi-Fi network, you reconnect to the work one, because like in COVID days, you self-isolate yourself. So even if your kids get attacked, they click, and so we see this a lot. Kids are I've got 3, too many. No, I love them dearly. What happens is if a son or daughter goes on to, especially gaming website, and I won't name some of them because they're very well known.
Yeah.
And they download a mod. Do you know what mods are?
Oh, yes. My kids download them onto my PC all the time. It drives me nuts.
That's so dangerous, because a lot of these mods are infected. They're embedded with payloads, which will either keyloggers or things like that, right? So now you've got that sitting on your kid's PC. Guess what? That will replicate to every single machine that's sitting on the same Wi-Fi network. Right. So the moment you segregate the network, guess what? You've just self-isolated you, because an infection can't jump from one wireless network to another. Not possible. And such an easy way to fix yourself. So this is what I'm saying.
My kids ever watch this?
Yeah.
You download mods all the time, children. Now, I knew this was risky.
Yeah, but this is why now, as a company, we're helping a lot of parents, and we're protecting their kids' machines as well.
Yeah, right.
Because then I'm like, go to any mod site you want. You can download whatever you like, and including my son. I'll tell you a quick story. So, do we mention the World Cup or not? Anyway, I don't know.
No, we don't.
Anyway, let's move on. So, especially as an Australian, South African sitting here. But so during the last World Cup, my son was home from uni, and he went to this website, and we've got our computer security sitting on his machine, and he downloaded this infected mod.
Right.
Within seconds, the machine, it would kill the attack instantly, normally in under 3 seconds, right? So then eventually he comes running. I'm still celebrating. We just won again. Did I say that? Sorry, I have to rub it in. Doesn't happen often. So then what happened was, he comes running and he says, I'm telling you, Papa, I've downloaded this from well-known brand website. I can guarantee you it's secure. I'm like, that's interesting. I've got 200 people sitting in my security operations center that thinks differently. So we just killed the attack. And, and I feel sorry for so many parents because they don't have a clue what their kids are downloading. So we do a lot of stuff on child safety as well online.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
another subject.
So
altogether.
it goes beyond then really just like you said, like that cyber safety.
Yeah.
Because that's something until we just had this discussion literally right now, that the stuff that your kids are downloading on your network can infect your own PC, your own files. You can drag that into your corporate network and then it causes a problem.
And the hackers know that.
Yeah, okay.
They know that because there's an easy way entry. So I like to use analogies. Let's think about a house.
Yep.
The house has got a front door, a back door. It's got windows. It has floor tiles or floorboards. It has tiles on the roof. It has chimney. All those areas needs to be protected. You can't just protect the front door and think that you're all as well.
Right.
And I think this is, you need to, when you look at cybersecurity, for me, it's you need to look at every single entry point within the business and then go, okay, have I got them all covered, or am I just going to invest in protecting the front door?
Yeah, okay. So that leads us nicely on, actually, I think, to my last question, which is as IT professionals, let's say, and the answer might be different, right, for SMEs versus enterprise. But, I know you said you've worked with a number where you would think perhaps that they would have all of this stuff kind of nailed down, and it's not.
No.
What are the couple of key pieces of advice you would have for them in terms of how they think about this kind of protection, whether it's structural, i.e. split the departments, or whether it's, like software actions, like what are the top things you want to get them to think about?
I think the first thing we spoke about earlier is 100% split up the function.
Yep.
Either outsource it or bring people in, but bringing people in is very, very expensive depending on the size of the business. And then also to get a culture in the business of also, let me rewind. I'm going to give you an example, which I think is really fitting to your question. We did work for very, very large like a payday company, loans, I won't mention their name, but anyway, and I know the CTO very well. He's been a friend of mine for 30 odd years, and they suffered a major attack, right? So then they came to us and said, "Oh no, we need to get cyber awareness training." I'm like, "Not a problem." So we charged them $30,000 a year. We did cyber awareness training, but they never took our email security. Let's park that for a second. So then this happened, was it last year or the year before? So anyway, so what happened was email came in to the head of payroll from, let's call him John.
Yeah.
From John saying, listen, I've changed my, bearing in mind, he must be earning $250,000 plus, excluding bonuses. And please, can you change my bank details? I've just moved banks. Can you hear my bank? And the lady paid it straight into the hacker's bank account. Now, let's think about the problem here. The problem here was culture. The lady in the payroll department was too scared to pick up the phone to John to say, John, was this real email really from you? So in other words, there needs to be a complete openness with staff to ask any question or to doubt any instruction. Okay, you with me?
Absolutely, yeah. This is like in it's almost like, so safety, right?
Yeah.
So in psych terms is psychological safety, right, where people feel free to fail.
That's
and
it.
To take and to ask questions and that kind of thing. So it's interesting that you kind of bring it back to that, is there has to be a culture of people feeling able to ask questions and check.
Or even check, or and this is another challenge again with people working from home.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody next to them that they can quickly run a check. Say, listen, I've just had this email through. I'm not quite sure,